Hello. Hello.
That's the trouble with us. That's the trouble with you. Ooh, that's the trouble with us. The trouble with trust. The trouble with trust.
Been to Old Street? Have you heard of Old Street? Never heard of it.
What is it?
Powderfinger's one of their first albums is called Old Street.
That's
That's the only reason I know they're from Brisbane.
Teach me a lesson.
The Gabba.
Probably.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, it's a Vulture Street end. That's how I fucking know it. Moron.
Do you know Vulture Street?
I do. Fucking moron. We're not recording here, we're gonna keep.
So we just got lunch in Brisbane, early lunch I guess, and after we finished, Jimmy goes, oh, I think I might get some crosswords for the way home.
Crosswords.
Like, okay, fair enough, you want to pass the time? They're not actual they're those...
fucking, what does it say at the top? They're fucking crosswords. I'm a gambling guy. I've got a gambling addiction.
How much do you reckon one of those billboards costs?
The actual billboard itself would have put something on there.
Yeah. Hashtag give plus
A
job.
lot of fucking money. A few grand.
You hear about that bloke in England that did it?
No?
He used like the last of his cash to buy a billboard and just say like, give Jerry a job or something like that. Had a picture of himself,
Yeah.
and then like his email and phone number, and he got like 20 job offers in just random fields. So I read this thing today called a bootstrap paradox. It's to do with time travel.
I wasn't listening.
I read this thing today called bootstrap paradox.
Yep.
It's about time travel,
Yep.
and like,
That's what most paradoxes would
yeah,
have to do with.
this hard to explain. So I'll put it in like it was on a Doctor Who episode. So I'll use the Doctor Who as an example. So a man who can time travel really likes Beethoven. So he uses his time machine to go back in time and meet Beethoven. But he goes to whatever it was, 15th, 16th century Germany, and nobody's heard of Beethoven. He can't find it or anything like that. So scared that nobody will ever discover Beethoven's music, he writes it all out, copies it all out and everything like that, and then goes back into the future and everybody can still listen to Beethoven and all that sort of stuff. The bootstrap paradox is using like one can't exist without the other sort of thing. So him going back in time and copying Beethoven's music, he is essentially Beethoven, but there is no way to describe, there's no way to explain Beethoven first coming around, because he had to be in the future to listen to it first and decide to go back to write it.
Yeah.
And like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever heard. Like if you time traveled.
But maybe he'd be to go back into the future again. He'd have to, or go back to the present.
Yeah.
He'd be the only person who would have heard of Beethoven.
No, because he will copy it all out, right?
Why'd he copy it out?
Because he was scared that nobody would find it. So he'd just be like, no, the world has to have Beethoven's music. So he copied it out and put it down and like wrote it as Beethoven and everything like that. So wrote all the bars and shit, and then called himself Beethoven as he copied it out. And then went back to the future and everybody's just like, yep, Beethoven is great.
But he knew that Beethoven was going to exist. He knew that people were going to find it.
Yeah, but how did he know?
Because he existed.
But nobody, he didn't exist when he went back. Nobody knew.
But he wouldn't have existed in, like
That's the
that's
paradox.
almost the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, that's the paradox.
No, what I'm saying is that why in his head did he think, oh, maybe people won't figure him out when he from the future?
Because he went to where Beethoven was,
Yeah.
the exact timing
Yeah.
and everything like that, and nobody had heard of him.
Yeah, but eventually everyone did hear him already. You know that.
Yeah,
from
no, that's from this one, and that's what they're talking about. That's the bootstrap paradox, is that it's infinite, and that like he could be Beethoven.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that it's irrelevant because he shouldn't have done it in the first place, because that shouldn't go through here, because you know from history that people find out about him. So that's just the dumbest thing in the world.
But you don't.
But you do, right? So you wouldn't have known who Beethoven is when you're in our century.
But he doesn't know. There's a book on it that I think it was H.G. Wells. I don't quote me on that. But it's called the Bootstrap whatever. And this guy finds a book in the future and then goes back in time, and he is scared that nobody will find this book, right? That this book has to happen. So he copies it out in the past. He copies it out in the past, and then he goes back to the future and discovers that he himself was the author of that book.
But I'm saying that the book wouldn't have
What would
existed.
happen if
That's
this
what I'm
time
saying.
travel? But you don't know. That's,
You do, because
that's the
no,
thing.
listen to me. This is what I'm saying, is that he obviously heard. Everyone in our time has heard of Beethoven.
Yes.
So therefore he existed.
But he could have. But
No. Listen. This is before he even went back.
no. But that's the loop. That's the continual
But
loop.
what I'm saying is that where in your mind would you think, oh fuck, he might not exist now that I've gone back? Like, that's like if you don't touch shit, it will still happen.
But not necessarily, because what if he was Beethoven the entire time, and he goes back in time, doesn't write it out, and then that's the loop. That's the.
I know what you're
theory.
saying, but also it's just
Yeah.
pretty fucking stupid at the same time.
Why?
That's why time travel is not a thing. Like,
It's not a thing. Yeah.
It doesn't exist because there's these, in any type of time travel, there's always a hole.
Right.
And you saying that, there's a hole there.
There is a hole.
there's a
That's
massive
the
hole.
idea. Is that he could have been Beethoven, and Beethoven could have been completely fabricated from the get-go, and that he is Beethoven.
But therefore he wouldn't have existed before that. The music wouldn't have existed before that.
That's the infinite loop. That's what they're talking about. That's the whole paradox.
But like it wouldn't. Like what I'm saying is it wouldn't have existed.
No, but that's
Doesn't make sense.
That's the paradox. It's an infinite loop. Like him going back in time to write it out happens all the time, infinitely, no matter what. So he could be Beethoven. Beethoven could be fake, not a real person, and he's just like, nah, Beethoven's a real person because this is just what I've grown up with.
Yeah.
And so he goes back, writes it all out, then goes back to the future, and everybody listens to Beethoven. And then he'll do it again.
But yeah, but if you just leave, people still like. What do you reckon? Beethoven still has to be a person because he was a composer. He performed. So it's not like it's him just going back every time.
Yeah, but maybe it was some other guy that found the music that the doctor, in this case, the time traveller, wrote out, and then goes, "Hey, this is pretty good. I'll perform this."
So he's just going to claim it.
Yeah. So like that's
So Beethoven's
that's
still
the
a
paradox.
person as well, but it's
Yeah,
just
that's the paradox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but it's still fucking stupid.
It's interesting.
It's not interesting because it's fucking fiction, mate. It's not
But-
real. It's not real. Time travel does not exist.
No, it doesn't. But it's cool. It's a cool idea.
You know what I'm saying, though, yeah?
I get it. But you sound.
What?
You're on the camera. Just say it again.
Now you just got to get fired for job?
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, that's it.
Got my behind.
Can't take care of you like this. Now you're lost in the heat of it all.